Good day, everybody, and welcome to a rather windy midday down here in Las Vegas. Beautiful sunshine, though, and clear skies, but the wind is blowing out of the north. We're going to be continuing our tour of the U.S. capitals. We're here in the de Havilland Dash-7, and we're going to be taking off here and flying southeast down to Phoenix, Arizona. So thanks for coming along. I hope you're all doing well. And let's hop on board and get the aircraft set up and ready to go. Alright, we are on board the aircraft fully loaded today. We have a full flight here. We'll go over our initial checks here. So parking emergency brake is on, throttle levers are in flight, idle, control lock is engaged, condition levers are in fuel shutoff, flaps are up and indicating up. Come up to the top. Batteries are off and off. Wipers are off. We'll get the heat turned off. That's good. Circuit breakers have all been checked. Weather radar is in op, and oxygen is checked as well. So we're going to come up to the overhead, start powering up the aircraft now. So the battery master and AC master and DC generators are both on. Left and right batteries are now on. DC external power is on, and the bus tie is closed. It's interesting. They now default to the closed position. That is good. You heard the alarm go off when I opened it. That is good. DC generators 1 through 4 are all off as well. Going all the way up to the top, the flight data recorder is in normal. The emergency locator transponder is now in auto. Fire handles, T-handles are all pushed in, and the fire tests and smoke warnings are all done. They don't actually do anything, so we're good there. Coming down here from the electrical panel, windshield wipers are off, and the heat is off. Airframe de-ice is off. Our pitot-static heating system is all off. And our propeller de-ice is currently off as well. Battery temperatures are rising. That is fine. They'll come down in a second. Position light is now on. Engine ignitions 1 through 4 are all in normal. Auxiliary fuel pumps 1 through 4 are off. Fuel transfer is off, and the tank valves are closed. Engine start selector is off. Engine start is off as well. Cabin pressurization is set to auto. AC external power is off. AC generators 1 through 4 are all off. Engine bleeds are off. Temperature controls are set to auto for both the cabin and the flight deck. Fasten seatbelt signs on. No smoking sign is on. And the emergency lights are now armed. So we are ready to start bringing on board our passengers, and we will get them in and seated in the back. So we're going to continue along. Come down and check our clocks. Local time is 12:33 in the afternoon. That is looking good. Flight taxi switch is set to taxi. GPWS is tested. Yaw damper is in normal and is guarded. Flight directors testing are both looking good, and both back over to standby. I'm going to get rid of my yoke there, get it out of the way. Alright, landing and taxi lights are all off. PFCS lights are off, meaning everything is normal. Autopilot system configuration is set to captain's side. Caution and advisory lights. We can turn on the caution lights. They are looking good. Caution lights are on in the back. And we'll go to our advisory lights. See them coming on. And we are full across the top, so that is looking good. Anti-skid is now on as well. Over to my side here, steering is off. Stall overspeed tests, they don't actually do anything. Should be getting stick shaker and stuff, nothing happens there, that's fine. Engine instruments flight instruments are all looking good. We'll just make sure we've got the current weather. So this is 39 minutes ago. Barrow is 29905, and as we can see, I'll put it into the chat. Winds are currently out of the north, 350 degrees at 11 knots, 10 miles of visibility. There's a few clouds at 6,000 feet, scattered at 12,000, and it is nice 17 degrees out. So we'll set 29905. You can hear some aircraft out there. We are on VATSIM, and there is aircraft moving around. The controller went offline just about half an hour ago, so unfortunately no ATC at the moment. We'll see if that changes as we go. Alright, so the altimeters are set to local. We'll turn on our DMEs and we'll make sure you are on nav 1, and we'll switch over to the VORs. For you, we'll turn on the FOs. You mean he's going to stay on nav 2. Compass is set to slave. Hydraulic quantities are good, and pressures are looking good as well. Now up to the main panel. We are fully loaded today. We have 45 passengers on board, and we're going to be cruising at 17,000 feet. So let's get this dialed in. I notice this little indicator is backwards now with the most recent update. Apparently they fixed the animation, but they got the direction arrow the wrong way around now. Running version 1.6. We have bypassed 1.5, which had major issues with the flight performance model. Alright, prop auto feather is set to off. Engine intake deflectors are set to retracted. Engine instruments are looking good across the board. Landing gear warning horn test is...
Please don't hesitate to let a flight attendant know, and we would be happy to help you.
Come on, give me my...
If the overhead bin is full
there we
after
go.
you put your carry-on inside of it,
good
please
there.
close the bin as a courtesy to other passengers. Once all your items are put away, please
pitch and
clear the
roll
aisle
disconnect
and sit down in your
handles
seat to
are
allow
in
other
and locked.
passengers
Again,
to
weather
find their
radar
seats as
is
well.
not working.
If you are
Transponder, we
seated
get
in
an auto
emergency
code
exit row,
from
please use the exit seating
VATSIM.
responsibilities
2040 will be our
back
code
in front of
today.
you. Please make sure you are willing and able to perform the actions required.
And that
If you are
is
not
now
able or
set.
prefer not to perform these actions, please let a flight attendant
Com
know
and
so you
nav
can
radios.
Feel free to use your
So
cell
the
phones during
CTAF
the rest of the
frequency
boarding
here
process,
at
but
Las
we do
Vegas
ask
is
that laptops, tablets, and any other larger electronic
119.9.
devices are stowed
So
once
we'll
you
get
depart.
that in, 119.9.
Thank you
Once we're in
and
the
welcome
air,
aboard.
crossing through 10,000 feet, we're going to go down to 122.8, the standard Unicom channel. Hey, Chris. Easter was good. Had family stay with me, my mom, and I was dog sitting my niece's dog. So it was nice and quiet. Made some nice food and got some nice walks in with the dog. So that was all very nice. Thank you for asking. How was yours? Hope everything went well. So we're going to go 122.5 on COM2, which is guard channel. That is all good. For our nav, we're going to be VORing it, so I'm going to bring up our nav log. First thing is we're going to be flying off of the Las Vegas VOR at 112 degrees, and that is going to be. Ooh, looks like LA Center might have just come online. We'll have to see. That is going to be a frequency of 116.9. So we're going to come down to nav 1 here and go 116.9, and that will be flying out on the 212 VOR. So let's dial around to 212. Make sure that is set and ready to go. There we go, 212 degrees will be set there. The next one we're going to want is the IGM VOR 1088. So we'll dial that one in. There's 1088. And we'll put him over here on nav 2. So he's ready there. There we go. And after that is the DRK VOR of 114.1. And that is set up there in the nav 2 standby. So that is all good there. So we're not going to need Unicom now. We're actually going to need Los Angeles Center. Same guy who was on before. So 135550. Alright, so it's 135.
We're ready to go when you are.
98, Los Angeles Center, good.
There we go. So we're just going to switch that over right now so we don't have to have him blasting it over here. Flight instruments are all checked on the first officer's side. Altitude is set. Roll spoiler switch is all set on his side as well. And I'm just going to turn the lights up a little bit here. We'll get that. And anti-ice, de-ice pressure is good there. We're going to pop up top. We'll set our rest of our lights up just so we have some definition on our panels. There we go, and center console as well. And let's get them basically pointing straight up, and we don't need storm lights or dome lights at the moment. Alright, so that is all nicely done. Down to the pedestal now. We'll come down. Emergency brake is on. Throttle levers are set. Flight idle. Control locks engaged. Condition levers are on. Fuel shut off. Flaps are in agreement and retracted. Flight idle gate is closed and light is on. Autopilot and yaw dampers are off, and we are trimmed and set for takeoff. And control came up, and we are ready to talk to him and get our clearance. So we're going to pop to the back now, and they can start doing their thing, getting the back end of the aircraft ready to go. I did turn the airplane around so we're facing out, so we don't have to worry about pushing with a turboprop. It's a bit of a pain in the sim, but
Good afternoon,
that
ladies
is
and gentlemen,
good.
and welcome aboard Flight 32.
So we're going to get our
flight time will be roughly
ATIS.
1 hour and 4 minutes. Please note the cabin door is now closed. We ask that you make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your larger devices are now shut down and stowed. If you have not already,
So they're using
please
one
fasten
right
your
and one left for
seatbelt and verify
departure.
it
That
slow
is
and tight
fine.
across your lap.
Simultaneous
Your
approach
table
crossing
seats
parallel
back must
runways
be
and
in the
use
full upright
conversion
and locked
runway
position for
operations in
departure.
effect.
Flight
That's
attendants,
fine.
please prepare cabin
Las
for
Vegas
departure and cross
Metroplex
check.
procedures in effect. That's fine. Verify navigational database is up to date. We don't have a navigational database for VOR navigation. ASDEX system in use. Activate transponders in mode C on all taxiway runways. We'll probably get a new transponder code. Read back all hold short instructions. Advise you have information Juliet. So runway, we're looking at probably 01 right. We're no SIDS. We're going to be vectors off to our first VOR. Which is what it should be. We're at gate Echo 4. And squawk and initial out we'll get from him as well. And we are info Juliet. All right. So let's give him a call and we'll see what's going on.
3001. What the fuck? Time with you, fly level 30.
I'm going to turn him down slightly just because I had it turned. No, actually. That's pretty good. All right, let's give him a call. Los Angeles Center, good afternoon. Allegheny 32 at Las Vegas, gate Echo 4-7, looking for clearance down to Phoenix.
Delta 510, Los Angeles Center, squawk 2226. 2226, visit Professor.
Los Angeles Center, Walker 3669er, on the ground at LAX, looking for clearance to Dubai.
Oh, I just got my
PDC set. Center Legion 415 is 20 from Gidget on the Gidget 2.
So he wants me to do the Hoover 8 departure. Let me look up that. Alright. So the Hoover 8 departure.
Okay, 2 calls at the same time. UPS 2963, go ahead.
Has a
We did flight level 320 just off the coast of Santa Barbara.
So he wants us to go to an initial altitude of 7,000 feet. So let me dial that back.
Yes, 2963, radar contact, maintain level 320. 320,
Hello, sir. Good evening. Alaska 1056, project flight level
7,000
350.
feet. 2024 is going to be our squawk. DRK
American 207, recycle your transponder. Squawk is 1366. 1366. Check your third digit.
Where's DRK? That's Igman DRK.
Sorry, 1366.
And Alaska 1056, project flight level 350.
Okay. So we're going to be departing out of Vegas.
Alaska 1056, radar contact 42 miles south of the Shafter VOR. Descend Comics 2 arrival. Limburg altimeter 3003.
Cleared
Over
over. Okay, so
Center Legion 415's 9 from Gidget on the Gidget 2.
Legion 415 Los Angeles, center radar contact. Climb maintain flight level 350.
I maintain 350, Legion 415.
just trying to read the chart here.
Robinson, expect for Las Vegas. Cell 510, radar contact descend. Chow 2 arrival, expect 26 left. Chow 2 arrival, expect 26 left.
So it looks like we're going to be departing out.
Alaska 1056, confirm descending the Comics 2 arrival.
Alaska
2,500 feet, we're going to turn to a heading of 060, so I'm going to put
Springs 507, you on frequency?
Affirmative.
060 in the heading.
Springs 507, radar contact 10 miles southwest Daggett VOR. Descend rounders 2 arrival, 1 left transition. Information, Juliet is current.
I would descend by the runners 2 arrival for 1 left, and we'll get Juliet for Spearwing 507.
Alright,
Spearwing
so we're
507,
going to take off,
recycle
we're
your
going to turn
transponder,
to a
squawk
heading
4703.
4703, Spearwing 507.
T60. Looks like we're going to be heading from there inbound directly to the IG.
Yeah, good afternoon, Los Angeles Center. United 3030
So we've
is
actually put in,
on the ground in Los Angeles with information
1088
Mike. We're looking for clearance to Vegas.
That means the next one would be the 1141. There's 1141, and then the next one.
United 33, pre-departure grant sent.
From there.
Thank you, sir. That's 2908, you on frequency?
Would be 1156. There we go. So that's set up there for the next one there. All right. So I think we are pretty much set.
Air Canada 221, you on frequency?
And ready to go. So I'm going to contact him here.
LA Center Velo 202 with you, follow 330, descending via the Cocktail 3 arrival into LAS.
Velo 202, Los Angeles Center, squawk 3361.
3361, Dallas, Route 2.
Los Angeles Center, good day, Southwest 2908, flight level 320, inbound to Curitiba.
South 2908, radar contact 37 miles northeast Blythe VOR. Maintain flight level 320.
Maintain flight level 320, Southwest 2908.
Thank you, repeat the squawk for Velo 202, please.
Velo 202 squawk is 3361, 3361.
3361, thank you.
No, just on VATSIM. I never run multiplayer and VATSIM at the same time. It gets confusing because you'll see aircraft they don't see. You'll see stuff.
LA Center, Southwest 3676 in Las Vegas. Request clearance to Phoenix with information Juliet.
South 3676, thanks for Juliet. Pre-departure clearance on the way.
In Los Angeles Center, Allegheny 32 at LA or Las Vegas. We have Juliet squawking 2040, and we are at gate E4, ready for engine start.
Allegheny 32, I don't have ramp control. Push and start is at your discretion. Taxi south to the non-movement line. Expect 01 right for departure. Call for taxi at the non-movement line.
Roger, we'll taxi south to non-movement line. We'll call for taxi when we're there and expecting 01 right for departure. Allegheny 32.
Delta 510 at Preno, cleared.
All right, so we are good for
26
engine
left
start,
approach.
so we'll go through our before start checklist. So takeoff data and speeds are confirmed. We're going to rotate at 92 knots. We're good to go. Windows and doors are all closed. Anti-collision light is now going to red. Parking emergency brakes are on. Power levers are flight idle.
Okay,
Condition
221,
levers
Los
are
Angeles
fuel shut
contact
off.
46 miles.
DC generators
south
are
of the
now
Cedar
all
City
coming
VOR.
on. So we're not doing a pushback. We're all good to go. Engine start.
Descend Chow to arrival. Information Juliet current at Las
Selected
Vegas.
engine 3. Clear 3.
Descend via Chow to arrival. Air Canada 221.
Engine 3 rotation. Alright, they've played around with some of this stuff. There we go. And fuel coming in. That's this side. There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the front of the aircraft for a safety demonstration. When the seatbelt light is on, please make sure that your seatbelt is fastened low and tight across your lap. To fasten, insert the metal fittings into one another. Tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. In the event that the seatbelt light is not on, we suggest that
this is 1.6.
seatbelt fastened in case of unexpected turbulence. There are several emergency exits on this aircraft.
All right, there's 70%.
In some cases, your nearest exit may be behind.
Start is off.
If we need to evacuate the aircraft, floor level lighting will
Engine
guide
is up
you towards
nicely.
the exit.
Engine
In the
4.
event of a loss of cabin pressure,
Starting
an
engine
oxygen
4.
mask will drop in front of you. Start the flow of
So they
oxygen,
have
pull the
tweaked
mask
things
towards you
here.
and place it firmly over your nose and mouth. Secure the elastic band behind your head and tighten the straps as necessary.
There's adding fuel. So we're going to taxi out around Concourse D. We're going to come down. We're going to hold short of taxiway Charlie on holding point 8 or transition point 8. And that will give us the spot we need. There we go. Engine 4 is
1480
up.
Los Angeles Center, squawk 3651.
Engine 2. Clearing 2. And starting engine 2.
Aircraft on the ground at Los Angeles. New departure frequency 128.05. 128.05. If you already have a clearance, call for taxi from SoCal 128.05. You're looking for clearance.
Engine
Contact
coming up.
SoCal 128.05 for your clearance.
Are in their full upright position. We remind you that
Alright,
this
we're
is a
looking
non-smoking
good.
flight.
Checking the fuel levels, you can see engines or fuel tanks 2 and 3 are less than 1 and 4, so we may move some fuel around on this flight. We'll see how that goes. There we go, 70%. Start off. Starting engine number 1, clear 1.
November 367 Mike Bravo, contact SoCal approach 128.05.
128.05, thanks for help, South Mike Bravo.
There we go, we have rotation on engine 1.
And somebody else was calling, who's that?
We're up to the green, adding fuel.
Delta 901, Los Angeles Center. Air contact 25 miles.
Oh, on
South
Pilot's,
Drive,
yeah.
Canyon via
I
118
downloaded
level
it direct from the
360.
Pilot's website itself. Alright, we're up on engine 1, so starter off and selector is off. So parking brake is confirmed set. Start selector is off. DC external power is now off. DC volts and load are checked. Battery temperatures are high.
UPS 81,
Pop over here.
you are
AC generators are now
25
coming
miles,
on.
radar contact 25 miles north, west
Engine bleeds
Homedale
are
VOR.
low.
Go ahead and descend Ziggy 7 arrival. The
Alright, popping down here, flight directors are on both sides. KPHX lights are out. Pop auto feather is cell green. Engine intake deflectors are retracted. Engine instruments are
Roger, GPS 81, flavor at 14,000.
hydraulic quantities and pressures are all looking good.
Palmdale altimeter
Flaps 15 for
3003.
takeoff. Flight controls. Control lock is off. Full forward, full back, full left, full right, and left and right rudders. Elevator trim is set for takeoff. Yaw damper is now on.
Delta 510, wind 3-4 at 11, runway 26
checked.
left, clear to land.
Ground equipment is clear and moved. Engine 1 and 4
Spread 934, radar
props going to
contact 7
maximum
miles
RPM.
northeast of Prino. At Prino, clear to LS,
Taxi light
Zulu
is
26
on.
left approach.
And
Information,
we are going to start our
Juliet
taxi.
current.
So, park emergency brakes off.
Cleared at Prino, 26 left.
Manual brakes are off. So we're going to taxi out here. We're going to go out to the first taxi line, and we're going to follow that around, as I mentioned, to holding point 8. And then we'll give them a call for our rest of our taxi. He's not controlling apron movement, so we'll just keep an eye out here. We have a small wingspan, so we can use this inner line here. So airport elevation is 2181, and according to our departure, at 2500, we're going to turn 060, so pretty much right after takeoff, we'll turn heading 060. And again, we're following this around to holding point 8. I know the FS Marketplace is probably the longest wait you'll have if you're waiting for an update. Not sure about the rest, such as Contrail and stuff. I do notice that when I do the in the builds one for the A300, 600, it's usually a day or two after I see the update notice.
Wind 340 at 11, runway 26 left, clear land number 2.
So we'll ignore this bin that's out there. That's fine.
Bell 202, did I define you a transition?
Let's get down here. We've got to get the
Mellow 202.
transponder on. No, I don't want that. Oh, I can't get to the transponder. I want that. And I want mode C. There we go.
Bell 13. Correction, Bell 202 with you, sorry.
Bell 202, did I assign you a transition?
No, sir.
Okay, you already set up for one?
We have the cocktail in with the...
Okay, that's the arrival. What transition are you, have you assigned yourself?
Tango, Quebec, India, Lima Alpha.
Bell 202, expect ILS 26, ILS Yankee 26 left approach.
Looks like the ILS 26 left approach of Bell 202.
Bell 202, that's not what I said. I said ILS Yankee 26 left approach. There's a...
Those transitions sometimes catch me out as well. There's 8 Alpha. So flaps are checked, flight instruments and engine instruments are checked, and steering and everything is checked as well. Alright, so there's the movement line. There's Charlie.
SoCal approach 128.05.
Oh, let's see American over there.
128.05, it's kind of 1.00 Alpha. Thank you, sir, for the service.
See you later.
Delta 510 going around.
Delta 510, follow the published missed approach.
Follow the public list approach.
Oh, there's, I think that was him going around.
Alaska 1056, contact SoCal approach 128.05. Alaska 1056.
There's somebody else coming in now.
Going for Alaska 1056.
Alaska 1056, contact SoCal approach 128.05.
128.05, 1056, connect.
See ya.
Los Angeles Center, Allegheny 32 at transition point 8 at Charlie, ready for taxi.
Allegheny 32, runway 01 right, taxi via Bravo Delta, cross 26 right on Delta.
Roger, 01 right via Bravo Delta, and we will cross runway 26 right at Delta for Allegheny 32. Alright, we're going down to Bravo, so it's not the first one, it's the second one. Other aircraft is coming in. Not sure what he is. Let me switch over to the map and I'll take a look. Looks like we have a FFT Frontier coming in, I think. Looks like we got a Southwest moving out there as well. See Las Vegas downtown core, the strip there, off in the distance. Gyros are calibrated, baro is set. Engines are looking good. Just watching that ground speed. Don't have a ground speed indicator in here, so just gotta kind of keep an eye on it. Looks like he's going to be calling next for taxi. It's Bravo 6 and Alpha 6. There's the Frontier. Got a Spirit over there. I got a few aircraft here in Vegas today. Again, this is on VATSIM. No controller down in Phoenix at the moment, but we're gonna have the LA Center controller here for about half of the flight. Flight time's about an hour and a half. This is Zulu coming up. Oh, there's the VOR. If you've ever wondered what they look like. right there. Oh, what's that? Acceleration. Alright, this is Alpha Bravo coming up, and then we want the next one, which is on a bit of a diagonal. Runs parallel to 01 right. And we already have clearance to cross. There's an aircraft coming on 01 left. There's the Frontier over there on 26 left. Of course, that runway does not cross over here. It ends. Alright, so as we roll up, we'll start getting everything up and ready. So, windshield heat. Oh, come on. Pedostatics are all on. Engine beads are low and set. Ignition is set as required. Auxiliary fuel pumps are now coming online. Stopped. Auto feather is fine. Engine intake deflectors are retracted. Condition levers on all engines are now up at max. Flaps are set 15. Why are my flaps not moving? Why are my flaps not moving? Generators are on. Oh, there we go. Not sure why that went all the way down there. Anyway, flaps are set, flight controls are good, elevator trim set for takeoff, condition lights, or cabin lights, caution lights are all checked. Then we get our flaps back to 15. Very good time to go. Transponder is on mode C. My flaps, come on, work properly. There we go. We'll get the landing lights are on. Anti-collision light will go to white. Strobe lights are on. Yeah, my flaps are not working properly here. Sure what is happening there. I'm gonna have to check that. It seems to go full or nothing. Yeah, something's not right there. I'm gonna do a quick check here. Control options. Let's go Bravo. Search by input. Let's go here. Clear. I don't want flaps on that control. Save back. Let's see if that was a conflict that was causing that. Might have been. Okay, flaps 15. Yeah, I already did. Okay. Flaps 15. No, the flaps are still not working. I don't know. Anyway, we're good to go. We'll go flapless. Los Angeles Center, Allegheny 32, holding short 01 right at Delta, ready to go. Let's check that. Hello? is this not working now? I have lost my mic. There we go. No. I lost my push to talk. Settings, push to talk. Oh, I got an issue there. One, 3, 5. What? Why am I? Oh, there are bugs happening here. I am going to disconnect from VATSIM. And I'm going to restart vPilot. Something was not right there. Oh, well, there's some complaint about the flaps? Okay. It seems to be up or down. There's no intermediate intermediate thing there. Why I have no control. Okay, I can do that. I can do that. Why am I not getting my push to talk on my radio? One, 3, 5, 5, 0. It's not letting me change the radios here either. I don't know what's happened, so I'm going to stay off of VATSIM, unfortunately. And what I will do, since we're not going to be a VATSIM flight now, and I'll have to figure out what's going on with that, is I'm going to fire up some FSLTL traffic. There we go. And we're just going to head out and get ready to depart. Again, not sure exactly what was happening there. So I'm going to treat my flaps as 1 notch. That's 15. I'm not sure what's happening outside. Let's get the brakes. Those brakes are pretty weak sauce as well. I don't know, they've really played with that too. All right, well, we're not using that anymore, so that can go away. All right, let's do the thing here. So all 4 condition levers are in max RPM. Engine intake deflectors are retracted. Power lever is coming up to 3200. Flight taxi automatically switched over to flight. There we are armed. All right, power levers coming up, full power. Brakes released. Yeah, those brakes are pretty weak now. All right, there's 80 knots. Well, we're really accelerating here. I think they've still got it kind of a little bit overhyped. Maybe not. Maybe it was underdone initially. There's gear up. 2,500 feet. Turning to a heading of 060. Okay, looking good. We'll level her off. Ooh, got contrails up there. Alright, so we'll come down, we'll go, yaw damper, autopilot. See, things aren't working here. That should be still green, that didn't come on. My flight directors are no longer working. Oh, they got issues with this airplane. Really have issues with this airplane. Okay, this is going to be fun. It'll be very fun. Okay, let's get the engines back. We'll get the props to 107. You can see how they're flickering like crazy there. Bring the engines back up for climb power. This thing needs some work. Taxi light can come off. Yeah, the autopilot won't engage. It's not good. That's because the flight directors are pooched. See, something's going on with the DC load here. That should not be doing that. Batteries are on, bus tie, these are all on. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but she appears to be broken, guys. Not good. Alright, we're going to turn to that 112 heading. That's Grand Canyon's off that way. We'll go in here, we'll crank her up to 17,000. That should have gone sell for the auto feather. No, she's off. She's pulled. Alright, so we want to be heading this way. And that is the 1088, which we should be pilking up. Flight directors have stopped working, which is not a good thing. Let's pop up top. Is anything obvious? That's fine. Those are all on. This is all good. Oh, external power off. I did turn that off. I'm not sure why. Now this is working. There we go. Now this is all working. Okay. Yeah. That's fine. So I turned that off. Interesting. No, it should be off. Once I had the engines up and running, and I'm sure I'm almost positive I went up and turned that off. So I'm not sure why it would still be it was still showing on. Yeah, they've redone the engines. You can see the power went up further than before. And so it should be 4,400 for climb. And 107. You can see that flickering there, which is very annoying. So they've got that to fix. They've got this to fix. I don't know why that didn't read. We are heading sort of in the right direction. Low range, low power. So let's set back up for the Las Vegas one, since we're going to be using that now. And that is 1169. Switch that over there. We should pick that up. There we go. And when we want to be tracking on the 1112 radial out. So let's go like that, and we'll let the aircraft get us back on track. All right. So flaps should be up. Indicator not there. Of course, I left them down. You can see that was correct. They do seem to be showing, but they're not animated properly. So I don't know how they would break that unless they went in and played with some of that stuff. Now we'll get a better climb rate going. All right. So issues with the aircraft. Okay. Things to remember. Alright, we're moving in to intercept the radial. That's fine. We got some nice views out. There's the lakes there. Of course, we've got right there, you can see the Hoover Dam. Let's get a better look at it. There's the Hoover Dam. Lake Mead. And of course, we've got Las Vegas back over here behind the clouds. And there's 10,000 feet. Alright, landing lights can come off. Air is calm. Seatbelt signs off as well. So we know for tomorrow what to look out for as we do our thing here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now passing through 10,000 feet. You can now turn on your larger portable electronic devices. As a reminder...
Alright, so climb power is set, landing gear is confirmed up, flaps are finally confirmed up, engine intake deflectors are retracted, flight idle gate is confirmed in, and the light is out. Synchro phase is set. Ignitions are on. Normal auxiliary fuel pumps will now come off. Engine bleeds are set to low. Cabin is pressurizing fine. Altimeters will stay where they are in local pressure as we're not going through transition level. Landing lights are off. Passenger signs are off. And we are now climbing up to the cruise. So once we're up into the cruise at 17,000 feet, we are going to set our cruise power setting for a fuel consumption of 360 pounds per hour per engine. So we'll do that once we hit 17,000 feet. Get a much better rate of climb going now. It's not a rocket ship, but this is more what I was expecting. I know it seemed a little anemic initially. so which is better. We'll get the engines back up to 44 on the power. There we go. And we're looking good. The other aircraft I've been playing around with now is the CH-47, the Chinook helicopter. It is an interesting one to fly. And we've been playing around with some of the missions, or I've started to play with some of the missions and that, and carrying a load and stuff like that. So it is pretty cool. Maybe we'll play with that a little bit in the near future. Alright, there's the other VORs just kicked over. So we're now picking up that one. Yeah, so I don't know why that was not working on the my button for the V-Pilot. I'm gonna have to look into that. It was selecting it when I went into the menu and told it that's what I wanted to use from a push to talk, but lost it at that point. So don't know what was happening there. A little frustrating. Some FSLTL traffic showing up there. It's looking pretty good. 14,000 feet. We're making good headway in our climb now. Adafaza, hi. Welcome to the stream. I've done a series of videos that we'll see. No, it's not aircraft related. It's V-Pilot for VATSIM. Not sure what was happening there. I'm gonna try starting it in admin mode and see what happens. I know the cable that goes from the yoke handle to the base is getting a little bit loose, and I sometimes have to wiggle it, but it was picking it up. Let's go to to connect. I'm going to go in an observer mode so they can't see me. And I'm going to go over to 122.8. Now it's working. Don't know what happened there, but I'm going to stay off VATSIM for this flight. It's weird. 37 miles out to the VOR. Bunch of weirdness happening. So the weather down in Phoenix is looking good. It's 15.5 degrees, 6 knot winds coming out of 260. So runway 26 is the one we're going to be using. And 10 miles of visibility, 10,000 foot ceiling, a few clouds scattered here and there around the place. Just going to change my runway. We're going to want the ILS for runway 26. We'll add that to our route so I can read all that information. So we're going to come down over the mountains and then we'll loop around to the eastern side of the city and then come in and land on runway 26 in Phoenix. Never been to Phoenix. It's on my list of places to go. Runway 26 is the northern runway. That's the one we want because we're parking in the northern terminal. Yeah, again, a place I do want to drop in and visit, check out some of the museums and everything. There's 17,000 feet coming up, so we're going to get ourselves squared away. Ooh, should have gone to Alt Select, or should be in capture mode. 17,000 feet. So we're going to set our cruise power. So we're going to bring the engines down to, or the props are 1077, which they are as they flicker away there. So we're going to set our fuel consumption down to that 360. So we're currently at, oh, pretty much 400. Is that the best view I had? It was. So we're going to bring the power levers back now to 360. There's 380. There's 360 on all 4 engines. Right, cruise power is now set. We'll let her stabilize a little bit, but we are showing currently a ground speed of 228 knots. Check that in my navgraph. So we're going to get a little bit of a wind pushing us along today. Alright, so we're going to switch over and follow the other VOR here. So we're going to go into heading mode. So we'll bring the dial around. We'll go into heading mode. We can come over now and put in the 1088 VOR, which is now in. We have 1141. As the next one, and that is in there now as well, and it's also picking up that VOR. And we're going to manually move our radial needle around until we're on the radial, and there we go. And we'll go back over to nav, and we're now flying to the next VOR.
In a few moments, we'll be starting our in-flight service. We'll be serving complimentary drinks and snacks. Please look in your seat back for a list of complimentary and premium drinks.
Alright, we
Premium
are set.
drinks are available for a small charge. If you wish to make an additional purchase, we only
So that flap indicator thing is a little bit of a pain. Not having that available is going to be a little frustrating, especially as you do visual checks. I also purchased that funny little C-22 tadpole with wing things. Tadpole with, oh, is that the, like the, it's got the bubble canopy thing that gives you that big wide field of view? That's pretty cool. I like things like that. That's why I like helicopters. You can see around a lot, and I got a bunch of little sightseeing videos in the Bell 47G, various cities and stuff like that. I think we are going to see more helicopter stuff now that it's got all this. I've kind of figured out how to fly them properly, so I'm instead of being absolutely horrible in them, I'm kind of mediocre now, which I'll work on to get better. All right, 32 miles out, and we're cruising along. So well, we get some music going. Let's see what we're in the mood for today. Don't want anything too banging on. Let's go with some jazz. Here we go. Get that playing in the background. Yeah, some of the aircraft are kind of fun. Some of them, as I've mentioned before, we were flying the Boeing 247D, which was the first airliner, and it was a fun airplane. I loved the fact that they had to crank the engines up from outside and all that. But you could even tune in. They'd included old-timey radio stations, so you could use the radio to tune it in, and you could have the old-fashioned music playing while you were flying along. But I just found the lack of some of the animation. Sounds were missing. The whole right side engine startup sounds weren't there. It was dead quiet. And they never came back and fixed it after release, which is what really annoyed me. It's one thing for something to slip by when you release it, but to never go back and fix it, man, that's a pain. But for all the aircraft I've got for the sim, there's only a few that I actually use, and some of them like this I use for fun. I might never use this again. once this series is complete. And it didn't start the series. We did start it with the old Boeing 247s. But again, I like this airplane, and I did work on them in real life, way back when. So it is nice to be playing with it in the sim. But it's better when they work. I'll say that. Alright, so we're going to turn our heading over just so it's lined up. So when we take over. So 165 miles to go. So on an admin note for streaming, I will be streaming tomorrow and on Wednesday. And then I'm going away for a few weeks. So there'll be videos coming up on the channel while I'm away. And we'll be back streaming. I believe it will be the 26th of April, the Friday. We'll be back live on stream. And we're going to be carrying on this series. We're now heading eastward from the west coast as we make our way along, picking up all of the states as we go. You're going to see a lot of this desert stuff for the next few streams as we work our way through the southwest. Let's see how our ground speed is doing. 233, yeah, not bad. We got a good push going. Yeah, it's annoying. It's annoying. At least things like PMDG, and it builds with their A300, or yeah, the A300. Fly-by-wire is constantly pushing updates out, you know, and it's good that they're doing that to make sure they work properly. I mean, I don't need all the systems working in the airplane because I don't do failures and I don't do stuff like that. So I don't need the whole electrical circuit in the back where the galley is all modeled and I can have failures and have the coffee machine not working and all that stuff. That's fine. But for stuff that's supposed to be there, it should work. Oh, right are we down to 11 miles. First Officer Molly is sleeping in the doorway. She's had a busy weekend. We had company for the weekend, including my niece's dog. Stayed over for the last 4 days. So she's been getting a lot of playtime in. Yeah, it does look nice. You can get into some great spots and see some good things. And that's why I like doing things like the ATR series we did in Japan. And for a while we were catching those sunsets right at the beginning of the flights or the sunrises. And they were looking fantastic. It was really cool seeing some of the scenery. The ATR is going to come back. It'll probably be doing a series in Norway with it. So we'll get some good Norwegian scenery with that. I like that airplane, even though it's got a few issues, but it's a nice one. We're going to see the Caribou. There's a series planned for that, and we're going to be back in the DC-6s. I've got 2 series planned for that aircraft. Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons I've kind of gone to doing one series at a time. I used to do them once a week, so it'd be like 3 or 4 different series a week. And jumping between the airplanes, I was starting to get a little bit lost and stuff, which is why I like doing this. We'll do, you know, however many episodes or live streams to do this series, and I'm in the one aircraft, and it keeps it consistent, keeps it going, and you get familiar with it, so you can start spotting things that are right or wrong or whatever. Oh, we just overflew the place, so let's switch over, and the next heading we're going to want is about a 104. So we're going to dial that off to about that 104. Let's go to about there, and we'll go into nav mode. There we go. So we're heading to the DRK VOR now, which is actually the exit point of the departure that we were supposed to be on. The next VOR is going to be the Phoenix VOR. And the Phoenix VOR PXR is 1156. So 1156. Let's make sure that's dialed in. That is. So we'll come over here. We'll get that over so that it is there, and we can see it flick in when we get within range. But we're 87 miles out from DRK. Still out here over the higher lands and the mountains and all that good stuff. And we're making our turn, and we have a ground speed of 227, so we still got a pretty decent tailwind pushing. In fact, if we look at the winds, let me pull up the winds. Pretty much, well, they're light where we are and variable. Kind of swinging in from our rear left, and then they'll move a bit more to our direct rear, but they're going to be very light. Not too much in the way of winds out there today, at altitude anyway. So we're pretty good there. Cruising along, and a little bit more traffic in the area. So one thing we do have to look at is fuel. So you can see our fuel is getting low in the center tank. So we got about half a tank above. So what we can do is we can come over here and oh, Elliot Games, hi, welcome, and Heidi Cruz, thanks for subscribing, greatly appreciated. So what we're going to do is we're going to move some fuel from tank 1 into tank 2. First time I've done this, so we're going to go to tank 1 and we're going to move it into tank 2. See how long this takes to move fuel. Just going to keep an eye on that. See if this fuel transfer actually works. We're going from tank 1 to tank 2. Oh, was that you that subbed? Oh, okay, well, thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. Another little thing, little detail things, like you see I'm looking straight on at the panel, and we got these two auxiliary fuel pumps where the switches are in position, and these two auxiliary fuel pumps where the switches are a little bit lower, but all four of them are in the off position. Kind of a little bit strange there. So I'm not sure what's going on. We're not getting fuel coming in. If anything, it's going the other way. Let's close that, and let's try this way. We'll go from tank 4 to tank 3. Not seeing fuel being moved. So do I gotta turn on the auxiliary pump? Shouldn't. That should be pushing it to the engine. Yeah. I don't know if that's actually working or not. Doesn't seem to be. Oh well. We should be good though. We're not burning through that much fuel. I mean, we're doing 360 an hour. We're less than an hour's flight time, and we've got 1,000, so we've got like 2.5 hours of fuel in that tank, so not going to be an issue. All right, 69 miles to go. So we're going to turn south at the DRK. We're going to follow it down basically to the end of the high terrain mountain line. And then we're going to be turning a little bit more to the east, following the edge of the town around to pick up the intercept onto the ILS. We've got a 3,000 foot altitude we're going to be aiming for. So 17,000 down to 3,000 is 14,000 feet, so that's going to be about a 65 mile out descent we're going to be doing. No, I didn't find any type of guide for this one. All I did was basically watch a couple of videos of guys starting it up, and I got a checklist off of flightsim.to for it, and I ran through that a couple times just to make sure I could get the aircraft started, and then I just started using it. I know not everything's working, and the checklist is probably missing a couple things, but it kind of does what it has to do. So, yeah, don't seem to, the fuel transfer doesn't seem to do much, which is a little annoying. Would have been nice for it to do things. I mean, this isn't working properly either. The arm should come off. The auto feather shouldn't be armed in cruise. It should be cell green takeoff and landing, but that's fine. We will make do. So we're going to come in here and line up our heading for when we get closer. So it's 80 miles from the DRK VOR to the straight line to the Phoenix VOR, which is at the airport. So we're going to be going around. So we're actually going to start our descent when we are, let's call it 55 miles. Let's call it 55 miles out from 55 miles out from Phoenix, and that should give us a chance to clear the higher terrain. We do have a minimum safe altitude of just over 10,000 feet in this area, so we want to make sure we're clear. Plus we got weather coming in, so that's going to become a bit of an issue with visibility. Good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure our it's 115. Yeah, 115. It's already reading, so that's fine. So we know that one will come in, and 1156 is Phoenix. I'm going to switch that over to the same one we're on, so I can use the countdown here as my indicator. So I want to be 55 miles, so that's 25 miles out from the DRK VOR. Although the Phoenix one was reading, so we can do it that way as well. We'll go 55 out from Phoenix. So we've been lucky with the weather here on the traveling by there. been lucky with the weather out here on the west coast. It's been some beautiful days, even up in the northwest where we usually get a lot of rain. A bunch of traffic going by behind us. But so good so far. I'm sure we'll run into some spring weather as we continue to head eastwards along the southern part of the U.S. So we're about halfway. We're 112 miles straight line down to Phoenix from where we are. Of course, we're doing a little bit of a dog leg. There's a lot of similarities between the A310 and the A300. I've done a bunch of flights in the A310. If you look on the channel, you'll find some live streams where I was in Ward Air livery. I've done a couple in the A300. Some freighter stuff. It's a little bit more advanced. It's what do they call it? It remembers stuff. So engine wear, brake, tire wear, and all that. It remembers. It's got that memory stuff in there, so it remembers what's been going on with the airplane. So it ages as you fly it, which is pretty cool. And I'd pretty much use it for the cargo version, which is what I have it set up for. I've got a DHL livery for it, for running cargo. But it's a pretty cool airplane. But again, you can, it's like a lot of these simulators. You get like train sim and stuff. You can just start adding stuff in, and it can cost you a fortune. So you got to get kind of selective in what you choose and what you add in, which is a bit what I do. I mean, I don't have everything, but I get the ones that I'm interested in. So like the CH-47, I've flown in them during part of my military career. So it's pretty cool flying that thing and chugging around in it. Which we're going to see some videos come up on the channel, like when I'm away, that cover that, and learning how to fly it. And I'm getting better at it. I've done a few things with it. And now starting to play with cargo loads and learning the restrictions and where you have to be careful, and there's speed restrictions for that. So it's a lot of fun playing with it and figuring it out. But I don't have a lot of time to fly off on my own, as you know, generally speaking, I am kind of busy, and if I'm not streaming and stuff like that, I'm busy off doing other things. So. And the neat thing with like the CH-47, they've added some airfields around the world. There's some in the deserts out in the Middle East for the U.S. Army stuff. There's a base up in Alaska as well. There's I think a firefighting base, because there's a firefighting liveried CH-47 up. And it comes with a whole bunch of missions. There's internal and external cargo loads and stuff that you can do. So that's pretty cool. And they fly differently than aircraft, so they're a bit more of a challenge. I do some long haul, like the virtual airline I fly for has long haul routes, and at the moment I've been using the 747. now that it's had the AAU 2 update, the Asobo 747 is actually nice to fly. So I've flown it a couple of times. There's a video coming of a flight from London to, I think it's Los Angeles, San Francisco. And there'll be a few more. I can do that. I mean, those are long flights, 13, 14 hours. Can't stream them, they're just too long, and I got to get up and go and do things during it. But I mean, it's a lot of fun doing those. Sometimes longer flights, and I do like the short flights. I like I've done a whole bunch of things in like 172s and other little GA airplanes, just hopping around locally and doing stuff like that. So that's also a lot of fun as well. Alright, so we are 22 miles out now from our VOR. So as I usually do, about 10 miles out, we will switch over to heading mode and then set up for the next inbound radial, which is 151 degrees. And that will take us down to the VOR, but as I mentioned, we'll be starting down 55 miles out, and then we're going to come around the city and make sure that we are able to line up on the approach for the VOR, or VOR, ILS. Everything is good. Yeah, I do like I'm not sure about the fuel though, but I know engine number 1 burns less fuel than the others. 2 and 3 burn the most, then 4 is a bit less, and then 1 is a bit less than that. Which is interesting. Looks like they got the pressurization kind of working. So the cabin is set for just over 8,000 feet. It's good. I have seen the vertical speed for the pressurization moving as well, so it's nice to see that that moves sometimes. I do like flying live weather, as we're doing today. This is actually what it looks like out here in Arizona. Alright, we're 13 miles out. We're going to switch over into heading mode. We'll just hold there. So we're going to come down now, and we're going to come over here on nav 1. We're going to switch it over to the Phoenix VOR, is the 115.6, and that will give us our final VOR of the day. And again, we're going to be heading down there on that 151 heading. Just crank this around. There we go, there's that 151 heading. 100 miles out from the airport. That is all good. So we're going to come in and now start setting up for our arrival and approach into Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. So the ILS is going to be runway 26. Let's just get the current weather. See what it's reading. So winds are 6 knots at 260. It's 15.5 degrees. 10 miles visibility. 10,000 foot ceiling with scattered clouds at 7,500. 299.3 is the barrow. So we're going to come in now and we'll switch that 299.3. Get that on both sides. So we're set local pressure, and we are good there. So we're going to be landing on runway 26 down in Phoenix. So the frequency for the ILS is 111.75. So we'll come down, we will dial that in. 111.75 is now set. And that is it. Heading we're going to want for that is going to be 258 degrees. And the minimums 250 feet for the ILS approach. So we're going to use the radio altimeter here to set our minimums, and we'll crank this around to 250 feet is set. So this approach, we're going to climb straight out to 2,500 feet and then make a right turn climb heading out to 5,000 feet on a heading of 030, and then we're going to head outbound on the 336 radial to a distance of 15.9 miles from PXR and hold. Well, vector, we won't actually be doing that. That's fine. We're waiting for this to come in now, and we will make our turn. So we're looking good. Fuel burn is still looking good. Fuel is looking good on all the engines. And again, 55 miles. We're going to start down into the Phoenix area. Flick over, see where that VOR is. Looks like we're over top of it now, so we'll switch back and we will go into nav mode. Pick up the radial heading down to Phoenix. So we're going to be running into some clouds. Outdoor temperatures are minus 22 degrees. Just going to do a quick weather check, see if there's precipitation forecasted or showing. There is. So we've got a lot of moisture in these clouds. So we're going to keep an eye out for icing until we get below them. There's weather reported. A little bit of rain southwest of Phoenix itself. We're almost at the tops of the clouds. The icing off. We'll keep an eye. We'll watch for icing on the wings and on the engine cowls, the spinners, and see if we get anything there. Our heading bug centered. Pull up our ground speed. We're at 228 knots. Still got that push from the back end, so we are looking good there. There's going to be a bit of a heavier precipitation area out this way as we come down, but it should be good. So we're going to pull the power back. We're going to descend at 150 knots, and we can adjust manually as we get further down. They try to I'll do that until we're over the terrain issues that we're going to be having. We have that for a little bit here. Just turning off the weather on Navigaph. Should be alright. There's that heavy cells for that rain that is off in that direction. We're looking okay though. Nothing forming on the engines themselves. Alright, we're about 22 miles out from where we're going to begin our descent. So descent checks, we can go through there. Cabin pressurization is set, it's all on automatic. Fuel quantities are checked. And I'm happy with where the fuel is sitting on those engines. Fuel transfers are all off. seem to do anything anyway. Altimeters are set to local QNH of 29993. One final quick check. 29992 is the next update. It just came through, so we'll set that down. 29992. Set. 29992 is set on both sides. Miles roughly from top of descent. We're going to head down, as I said, about 55. And that'll put us out over the lower terrain by the time we get down in altitude. It's been a good flight. Nice little commuter flight here. Fortunately, like all these airplanes, there's no IFE or anything in the back, so it's bring your own podcast, books, whatever it is. Be entertained. So our landing speed today is going to be, we're going to be doing a flaps 45. What's the runway length? And elevation. Runway length 11,000 feet. Oh, plenty of room. We're going to do a flaps 25 landing. So that's going to bring us in at a rough landing speed of about 91. So we're going to be wanting to come over the fence at about 100 and then bleed off the last few knots before touchdown. So just have to remember on our flaps, 2 notches down and it should be there. 12 miles to top of descent. It's starting a little bit of turbulence. You can see the aircraft starting to rock slightly. And we're looking good at our terrain clearance, and where I'm predicting we'll be down. We'll actually go down at 60. We're going to be targeting an initial altitude of 5,000 feet. And 3,000 is our intercept. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull back on the power, and once we get down to 150 knots, we'll just hit indicated airspeed hold. Again, that'll turn off our altitude capture and altitude hold, and we'll be heading down. So we'll set that initial, other way, we'll set that initial down to 5,000 feet. This does seem to be slightly quicker, but as I said, they got the arrow showing the wrong way. So we are 59 miles, we're good there, so we're going to come back now on the power, let the aircraft start to slow, and when she gets back to that 150 knots, we'll release the altitude hold, and then we will start downwards. And you can see her starting to rock a little bit, so we're going to get the seatbelt signs on. Coming back. Yeah, you can turn it off, and then manually you gotta repick a speed. There we go, and then we're heading down. So this is all just about locking in what it shows. So if I wanted to make it more, I'd have to turn it off, push forward on the yoke, get the speed up, and then hit it again. There's no dials or anything to turn it up and down. Same with vertical speed. I'd look for the vertical speed I want and push it in, and that would hold the vertical speed. Which we may be doing in a second, just to get an increased descent rate. See how we do. Still got some high terrain we're kind of passing over here, as you can see. So once we're through and over in, basically over the city, we're going to go into manual heading mode, and we'll be using that to steer us around and get us lined up, kind of self-vectoring. We're coming in over the northern part of the city, and then we'll kind of pass by Scottsdale. Vertical speed wheel. Oh, there is, yeah. The problem is it's out of the way. I guess if this was in vertical speed mode, I guess it would work. Give it a try. If I go into vertical speed mode, we're holding at about 500. Yeah, it works in vertical speed mode. So if we go into there's about 950 feet per minute. And I guess you could use the turn here for turning as well, but good call. Alright, so we got a couple little bits of land, but we're kind of coming out of the high. I mean, I guess it would also be fine if you were using like track IR or something. Though I only tend to use that in very small airplanes and helicopters. Helicopters, because mainly you don't need to look at the instruments that much, but your head's always on a swivel looking around. And if a couple of the little biplanes I was flying and open cockpit stuff, I do the same thing, because the gauges you don't use that often flying those, but the looking around is always good. But in airliners, I mean, you're kind of focused on what's in front of you. There's 15,000 feet, 10,000 to go. We're looking good. So seatbelt signs are on, that's fine. Airport elevation is 2,000 feet. Was it? No, 1,100 feet. So we're going to be landing on 26. We're going to make a left-hand exit off the runway. Yeah, too many wires. I like it for helicopters because helicopters you're a little bit more by feel, and I like being able to look around for that. Although not on the ground setting up, like only in flight. I usually turn it off when I'm setting it up and just look the panel views so that it's not bouncing all over the place. Because it becomes hard when your head's moving and you're trying to hit switches and stuff. It can become a bit of a game as you're trying to get them. All right, we're starting to come down over the edges there, so you can see the town starting to come in. Forward slightly, a bit more, a little bit more of a descent going. 13,000 feet. coming up on the little town of Banyo. See it down there. And then we'll be, as we come up to Phoenix itself, we're going to turn about 100 degrees, 110 degrees. And that'll take us down towards Scottsdale. And then we're going to swing out past that and around to the south to come in for the intercept into Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. Let's get the landing lights on now since we're descending down. And we've got about 10,000 feet to go. So 1,000 feet per minute, 10,000 feet, we should be down in 10 minutes. And while we are only 31 miles out from the airport, we are going to be going around it, so that is fine. It works well. Again, we got the 5,000 as the initial descent, 3,000 for the intercept.
We have begun our final descent into Phoenix. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to collect any trash one final time. Please ensure tray tables are stowed and seats are in the full upright position. Please also store any carry-on items either in the seat back pocket or under the seat in front of you.
Alright, we're going to begin our initial turn. There we go, into heading mode. We'll follow that. We're going to switch over now to the ILS on 111.75. It's actually picking up the localizer out here. So we're going to keep that up, and that will be our guide for that. All right. Keep our descent going. Yeah, I picked up the Thrustmaster, the pendulum ones. They're heavy. I mean, they're metal and stuff. And I've got, it's got holes in it to bolt it to the floor, which I'm not going to do. But I do have to get some really sticky rubber grippy things and put them under it, because it can slide around a little bit as well. Because I've got a linoleum tile type of floor where my computer is. Alright, now that that's done, we can come over here. 258 is going to be our heading for our ILS, so we're going to make sure that is dialed in and ready to go. So keep cranking that around. Outside air temperature's coming up. It's minus 6 degrees. Speed's creeping up as well as we're keeping that 1,000 foot per minute descent rate going. Come up around a little bit further. 125 degrees. So we'll make it 120. There we go. 120 degrees. Below 10,000 feet, landing lights are on, seatbelt signs are on. Give them a ring in the back. And we are good, still descending down. 4,000 feet to go. So we're going to decrease our descent rate a little bit. Start slowing the aircraft down as well. Of Cave Creek. Scottsdale is, we're just going to be off our nose, slightly to the right of our nose as we pass by it. And glide slope is showing. Probably not correct, but that's fine. tuned in a little bit better. Some of that higher terrain there we're going to be skirting past. So come 5 degrees over to the right. It's 8,500 feet. We're looking good. So we'll consider this our downwind leg as we get ready. So cabin pressurization is looking good, and it is fine. Engine bleeds are all set to low. Auxiliary fuel pumps will now all come on for all 4 engines. Passenger signs are on. Circle set to our side, captain's side. Taxi light will come on. Landing light's already on. Altimeters are set to local pressure. Last check for any METAR update. 29902 is current, and that is what we have set, so we are good there. Engine intake deflectors are set to retracted, and condition levers will be going into max RPM shortly. You can see that cloud off there. There's Scottsdale. There's the Scottsdale Airport. It's passing over now. Clouds down there. Alright, we're looking at 14 miles away from the airport. It's pretty much off of our side here, down there in the clouds. It's 7,300 feet. There's an aircraft going in. I can just make out the lights down there. Actually, there's another one there. There are parallel runways here. Assuming Phoenix is busy. 7,000 feet. Oh, there's a weather update. I hate when they do that. Small aircraft down here. Could be a helicopter or something. $1,500 feet to go. We've got a small airport down here, lots of traffic. Yeah, probably. Could be a bug. Definitely got an airport here in front of us. This is the Mesa, the Mesa Airport. Kilo Foxtrot Zulu. We're going to swing around the other side of it and then loop around. There's another aircraft going in for Phoenix. I know you guys can't see the lights. Actually, that's the Mesa Airport. What airport is that? Looks like another airport over here. That's a low-level aircraft down here anyway. Okay, glide slope is starting to come up. Coming in under that cloud layer. There'll be a lot of traffic heading into Phoenix. Mesa Airport. See all the aircraft back there. There's 5,000 feet. We're going to keep going down to 3,000. Set our altitude capture. Somewhere about there is good. I'm going to make a right turn to the heading of 210. Get ready for the intercept. So we have both glide slope and localizer showing, so once we come wings level, we will go arm approach mode. There we go. Approach mode is now armed. There's the localizer coming in. Descending down to 3,000 feet. There's the airport ahead of us. Right, and engine's coming up to max RPM. Engines are set max RPM. We're on instrument approach, so we are going to be doing a flaps 25. So we want to be 120 down the ramp and then 100 over the fence, and we come in. So localizer intercept at 150 knots. That's not bad. Flaps are up. Minimum ground elevation 3,000 feet. We're still descending. Haven't quite got the glide slope yet. That's fine. The aircraft keep coming down. Final ding for the cabin. Make sure they're aware everything is set up on the overhead. Alright, so we're on the localizer. See aircraft passing in front of us. Good. Looks like there's that rain that I mentioned off to the southwest over in that direction. – 3,700 feet, still descending down. Speed's at 167 or so, 170. .500 feet to go. Should level off at 3,000 feet and then intercept the localizer or the glide slope. .300 feet. Click over for the capture. Alt capture. It's 100 feet. Vertical speed coming up. Glide slope coming in. First notch of flaps. Speed reducing. Glide slope capture gear down. Gear in transit. Should be getting movement sounds right now in the gear. Gear down 3 green, 150 knots, flaps 25. to hold that 120. Speed slowly coming back. Power is still all the way off. So gear down 3, green, flaps 25. Airport's in sight. Cabin is notified. Lights are all on. And runway is clear. Coming in. She's not wallowing, so they fixed that problem with the ILS wallow. There's 120 knots. This thing's not going to slow down, is it? Alright, in that case, flaps to 45. Land at 91. So we'll bring her down to 100. Flaps full. 100 knots, bring up the power, keep it at about 100. We're 500 feet. Autopilot disconnect. Aircraft departing. Two whites, two reds on the localizer on the ILS. 98 knots. Got an American lining up, waiting to go. Two whites, two reds. Southwest waiting to cross. Back. Power off. That was a stutter. Aircraft is down. Reverse thrust, speed coming back, 50 knots, 40 knots. Manual brakes. Engines at a reverse. We need reverse thrust sounds. Haven't got those.
Gentlemen, welcome to Phoenix. The local time is
We're going to get off here at Bravo 9.
PM, and it's currently about 63 degrees Fahrenheit. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bins, as items may have been shifted during the flight. We thank you for flying with us.
Bravo 9. Phoenix, as they said in the back. Alright, we are clear of the active runway. So brakes are on. Let's do our checklist. So control lock is engaged. Condition levers 2 and 3 will come back into feather. Engines will go to flight idle. Flaps all the way up. Landing lights are off. Taxi light is on. Strobe lights are off. Engine intake deflectors are retracted. Windshield heat is off. Pitos are off. The pitot heaters. Flight taxi switch to taxi. Yaw damper is off. Weather radar off, and transponder is in standby. All right, we're going to taxi over to where are we going? The West Terminal. Concourse N. We're going to Taxi down here, Charlie. Whoa. Easy. There's where we're headed, the west terminal there. It used to have it, like I could do it sitting on the ground if I went into reverser, I could hear it, but it wouldn't do it when I was landing, which was kind of weird. Not sure what was happening there. Alright, we're going to come in here at Zulu. There's Alaska just landed. Delta's putting on a show overhead. And we're going to go into Echo 5. Let's see if they want to play today. Probably not. Ah! No. Never mind. We'll just go down here. This is Echo 5 up here. We can see it off to the right. Alright, so as we come in, we are going to go into, turn off the taxi light. Turn. And we'll get her parked up here in Phoenix. Some aircraft moving behind us there. I think this will about do it. So, parking brake goes on. Other engine comes back into feather. So, emergency brakes are set. Taxi lights are off. Power levers are in flight idle. Condition levers are in feather. Weather radar is off. DMEs are now off. Shut down the engines. Oh, that sounds nice. Lead air will come off. Anti-collision light will go off. Position light can stay on. Passenger signs off. AC generators all off. Left and right batteries will come off. External power is on. And the anti-skid will come off as well. Okay. Pop back into the back. Get the door open. And everyone can leave here. Busy Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. Well, thank you all for watching. Chris, thanks for coming along. Hope you enjoyed. And we will be back tomorrow as we depart Phoenix and we head north. Believe we're on our way to Salt Lake City. Just check. We're heading from here up to Salt Lake City. See you tomorrow, same time, 1930 Zulu. Bye for now.